Welcome back, everybody. Here we are in Kindred Spirits again. We've gone a whole week. It's Monday again. Don't like Mondays, but, you know, maybe we can have some excitement with helping out some of these couples. That we set in motion a few plans to help things along, as we have with some of these people. So, let's see if we can put any of those plans to actual use. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly which couple we were trying to help out first. I think it was so what I don't remember which one it was. I don't remember which couple we were doing, but I'm sure we'll find out. So what I'm saying is Yuri doesn't necessarily mean lesbians, you know? It doesn't, eh? Explain more, Anno. The classroom after school. There wasn't anything pressing I needed to help with today. Maki-san and Aihara-san are in the same usual. I go and check on them sometimes. They do seem a little distant lately, but I don't know why. I haven't been finding many opportunities to put our plan with Tsurugimine-san in motion. Since I have some time on my hands, I'm staying behind in the classroom to chat about trivial things with Anno, or that's what I thought we were going to do, but why am I getting a lecture on Yuri from Anno right now? That is a good question. How did this happen? Were we talking about classes and whether we wanted to get together to study before finals? I think two close girls holding hands while walking together is splendid Yuri already. In my business, you see, there's a deep, dark river that runs between Yuri and lesbians, of course. There are people who can cross over, too. I'm a little confused. Uh-huh. How did that turn into this conversation? I can't remember anymore, and yeah, I don't really care. Who can't remember things now, eh, Yuna? But what Anno's talking about right now, I'm a bit too involved in lately to totally ignore. Yes, this is a good lesson. Screw classes, this is what we need to know. Actually, I'm having some non-fiction issues in that area. Well, it's just make-believe. You do that sometimes, right, Yuna? I don't think so. Just think about it a little. Come on, oh, like, who do you think is more your type, me or Hina-chan? Try thinking from there a little. Oh, are we gonna get to choose? Do we get to choose? What? Oh, we do get to choose. I think we're into Anno. Hina's great and everything, but I think Anno's more our style. Anno, maybe? No way, but why? Oh, I'm making her blush now. Because I don't need to hold back with you at all. You think that's a matter of types and stuff? Well, I can say anything I want to you, right? Whatever's on my mind? Are you actually the Tachi type, Yuna? What's that supposed to mean? When you're talking about two girls, the Tachi is like the semi and the Neko is, oh man. It's like the UK. Excuse me. Semi-Yuki. We're starting from there. The semi is like the male role and the Yuki is like the female. Okay, I couldn't remember which one was which, but that's what I thought. Alright. So I'm the man in the relationship? I don't think that's how this works. Pretty sure you're both girls. Well, you're pretty cool, Yuna. I don't get this at all. And while Anno and I were having that incomprehensible conversation, the door to the classroom opened and Miyama-san stuck her head in. Hello. Anno, you in here? Ah, it's Nina. I'm here. What's up? Hide me for a bit, would you? I'm in a bit of a pinch. What happened? Yumi's after me. Of course she is. Ichiki-san is after Miyama-san? She's so annoying, I can't get any sleep. Can I rest a little here? Sure, use this seat here. Anno, that's my seat. Oh, it's fine. Well, I don't mind, but sorry, well, good night then. Miyama-san said, sitting down in my chair and laying her head on my desk. With my seat taken, I moved over to the chair of the girl next to me who had already gone home. Sorry, Toomey. Oh, it's fine, don't worry about it. Yumi's just... Miyama-san muttered quietly. Personally, I'd wish she paid a little more attention to Sasa. Aha. I was a little worried Anna might hear us, but she seemed to be rooting through her bag for something. So I've been trying to excuse myself a little more often. I see. On that rainy day in June when we tried to get Ichiki-san and Futano-san to go home together, that was when I'd realized that Miyama-san was aware of Futano-san's feelings too. She told me herself, yeah. So we figured out, she actually probably knew before we did about those two, or at least one of them. That's probably why she was telling me this now. I don't know why, but Yumi's suddenly really worked up about the three of us being together. She's been chasing me around. Maybe Yuna's starting to develop something, feelings there, and maybe she's scared of it at first. But she'll come around, right? Because of that, I can't get any sleep. With a little sigh, Miyama-san slumped down onto the desk. It really looked like she was at her wit's end like that. Well, she was just using my chair, but that wasn't a big deal. The bell signaling a campus-wide announcement rang as I considered my loss. Paging a student, it's gonna be... Is this Ichiki-san's voice? Miyama Nina-san of 2nd year Class B, Miyama Nina-san of 2nd year Class B, please come down to the broadcasting room immediately. Wow, she's really going all out with keeping those three together now, isn't she? One more time, Miyama-san of 2nd year Class B. She's using the broadcasting system now. Man, even when she tries to get away, she can't. The summons had been for Miyama-san, and I would guess no. I'm pretty sure it was Ichiki-san calling her. I was in agreement with Miyama-san. She's even using the broadcasting system to call her? Miyama-san, what are you going to do? This must mean she's pretty serious, huh? She'll probably find me hiding here. I guess I have no choice but to run. Why is that everybody's solution is just run? I see. Well, Nina, you're like a wanted criminal. What did you do? I didn't do anything other than skipping club activities. Actually, maybe she's deserved being paged like that then. Well, sorry to have bothered you. Good luck. Miyama-san said, tottering out of the classroom. Nina's got it rough too, huh? Yeah. Are those three going to be okay? I'm really not sure at this point. Maybe things aren't as good as we'd hoped with those three or two. Nina seems, she's no. So we got Tuesday, it's our next day. Maybe we'll get a glimpse into one of the others' relationships there. The student and the teacher was the most worrisome, I think. For the last week or so, Sachi, San, and Megami have been taking turns checking on how Aihara-senpai and Maki are doing. Yeah, those two haven't been doing good. Their observations revealed a few things. It seems something definitely happened between them. Sachi-san had said that they'd stopped going to their hideout around the end of June. Oh no, that's not the teacher, sorry. That's that was the first couple we met. The first year and the third year, I think, is Aihara. Aihara's the third year, I think. Or second year, I don't remember. Hideout around the end of June, and they apparently yet to go to once during July. Despite that, they're still working every day after school doing tasks that find their way to Aihara-senpai. What happened with those two? But from what Sachi-san and Megumi have seen, they've been acting distant. Their conversations have lost the cheer they used to have. Maki-san in particular has gotten much quieter, according to them. Aihara-senpai isn't really the type to chat while she works, so they've been carrying on in silence. Though Maki-san's still doing her best to help Aihara-senpai with her work, that hasn't changed. So things could be worse at least, but they're definitely not great right now. They realized one other thing too. Even more work than usual is being left to Aihara-senpai lately. I also see the two of them a lot. When I walk around the school, they're always occupied with one matter or another. They do seem to be busier lately, but they're doing chores that are clearly just busy work. They're taking out the trash from classrooms or collecting homework to be turned in to teachers. That must mean they're not just doing stuff for the beautification committee, though Aihara-senpai's always taken on that sort of work too, I think. It's been a while since Maki-san started helping her. She seems to be getting better and better at it. They're able to get more work done now, and in turn, more work is coming to them. It's a vicious cycle, I guess. That hasn't stopped them from taking and completing their requests, though. Megami had said it was actually a little scary since they do the work so quietly. I don't think they're avoiding their hideout just because they're busier now. It's like they're avoiding being alone together there. Neither of them ever suggests taking a break. Sachi-san had said, I don't think Maki-san's feelings for Aihara-senpai have changed. And I don't think Aihara-senpai hates Miki-san now, or wants the situation to stay like this either. So what's going on? This is really weird. But something must have happened. Something that created this distance between the two of them. I read Miki-san's heart a little, actually. She's hesitating about something. It came through very clearly that she isn't sure what to do. And somewhere deeper, she is feeling betrayed by Maki. That Maki hasn't understood her feelings. Despite this, she seems to be hoping for something from Maki. All of those aspects are entwined together. So she doesn't know what to do right now. She's just wrapped up in her work. This is odd, isn't it? It would probably be faster just to ask her about it directly, but I can't exactly do that, can I? We're barely acquainted. I don't think we've even talked to her. Everything we've done for those two has been behind the scenes, I think. What should I do? There's one more piece of information I've gotten from watching Aihara-senpai and Maki-san. It was something I happened to overhear near a third-year classroom while I was looking for the two of them. What? No, this stuff is so boring. Let's get Aihara to do it. Like always, she'll be happy to. I'm starting not to like some of those words. I hadn't intended to hear them, but the moment I did, I felt a stab of pain in my heart. That kind of sucks to... She does all this work and people just treat her like... she'll do it. Why not? Do you need any help? I couldn't help asking her. Aihara-senpai when I found her in an inner-building classroom after school. Aihara Miki. Whoa, she's changed, hasn't she? Look at that new coat. Huh? Aihara-senpai's alone today. Megami told me that Maki-san had gone home early. It's not clear why. Did she have something else to take care of? Senpai was in the middle of some work she'd gotten from someone, like always. She has piles of printouts stacked up on her desk. It seems to be taking one sheet from each pile and stapling them together. I assume a teacher asked her to do this. Sataka-sensei, the social studies teacher, asked her. There are handouts for her class. Sachi-san's here. The information is helpful, though, since it seems like Aihara-senpai was surprised that I suddenly called out to her like that. Well... Oh, my name is Toomey. I'm a second year. Sataka-sensei asked me to help you out. Look at that. We're lying through our teeth now just to help out. Good. Is that right? It's alright, though. I'll be done with this in no time. It really doesn't look like that to me. Oh, don't worry about it. It wasn't anything. I wasn't doing anything. It'll be quicker if we do it together. Really? In that case, could you help me for a bit? Of course. From what I could tell, she was assembling 10 sheets in an order and stapling them. Nothing complicated. I imagined the task in my head and asked myself if there was a way to do it more efficiently. Should we start by putting them all together first? Yeah, that sounds good. Then let's stack them in order of the desks. Right. I was confident nobody would be using the classroom, so we spread the papers over every desk we needed. This is for first year class, isn't it? Seems like it. Aihara-senpai is a third year. I'm a second year where we're both putting together printouts for a class that had nothing to do with us. I picked up sheets from the stacks we had lined up, put them together, and stacked them alternating vertically and horizontally so they wouldn't get mixed. Oh good, I'm glad other people do that as well. I do that too. It helps out. We silently went down the row of papers on the desk. How many staplers do you have? Only one. Well, that's not very useful, is it? Then, want to start stapling them, senpai? I can finish the rest of the stacks. Sure. We returned to silence, only the sound of Aihara-senpai's stapler snapping through the quiet. But we were able to work faster for all the chatting, and all the chatting we weren't doing, the pile of complicated bundles grew higher and higher. There might have been 3 whole classes worth. It looked like more than 100 handouts in all. It didn't even take an hour. We worked barely speaking until the printouts were done. Why aren't we asking her stuff? This is all of them. Yep, looks like it. There were a few pages left over, but I guess that's just because there were uneven amounts of them printed. Aihara-senpai thanked me as she collected the leftovers. Thank you. It was Tumi-san, right? That went pretty quickly. No problem. This would have been a lot of work to do on your own, though. You might be right. I appreciate the help. Come to think of it, you've helped me once before, right, Tumi-san? Yes, it was last year, and you were helping me, Aihara. Was I? You were very efficient today, though, Tumi-san. That's what I remembered. Is that so? Honestly, I was surprised Aihara-senpai remembered that time as well as me, too. We didn't talk much back then either. And I'm not a famous person like Senpai or anything. I remember you too, Senpai. You were a lot of help back then, and you're quite famous, Aihara-senpai. Oh, you think so? Yes, you're always doing stuff like this after school, right? I see you around campus a lot. Is that right? I'm a little embarrassed. Aihara-senpai said, smiling. It was a bit of a bitter smile, and seeing it seemed to prick and stab into my heart for some reason. We just need to bring these to Sataka-sensei, right? To Sataka-sensei, right? I'll take them over. I wanted to get away from Senpai as soon as I could. Oh, it's too much to carry on your own. It was a lot of work getting it all here. I'll help you. But I felt like I was going to say something if I stayed, like I would have to say something. Well, isn't that the whole point? We're trying to... Come on, we need to talk to her. This isn't something you should have to do, is it, Aihara-senpai? Huh? Even I was surprised by the words coming from my mouth, and... These are for the first year class, right? This has nothing to do with you, senpai. I was regretting it somewhere in my head, thinking I have to hurry and shut my mouth, but... This is just busy work, isn't it? Why? I knew I shouldn't, but... Why do you have to do this? I couldn't stop myself. I'm sorry, was it too much work helping me? No, not at all. I just want to know. Why do you do all this work for so many people every day? I understand the work you do is for the beautification committee, but you get all this work that has nothing to do with that pushed onto you. Isn't it strange to you? Do you ask yourself why it's you who has to do all these things? There are things that should be able to ask other people to help with, or just do for themselves. But everyone asks you because you always agree, they rely on you, they push even simple things onto you. Don't you think you're just being used? I said it. Oh, she did say it. I hadn't intended to say all that, and I hadn't wanted to either. But I couldn't stop myself once the words started flowing. I couldn't forget the words I'd heard from those girls whose names and faces I don't know. Girls pushing work onto senpai as a matter of convenience. Aihara-senpai didn't say anything. She simply made a troubled face like she was trying to think of what to say. I'm sure senpai understands all this. It's not as if everyone's asking senpai to do work just because they don't want to do it themselves. It's not as if everyone's pushing those tasks onto her. These are people who appreciate the help senpai gives them and the work she does for them. I'm sure she saved a lot of people from real trouble. But I'm sure those people are taking advantage of her kindness. I think senpai understands that she's being taken advantage of. That's because she accepts everything. People will push unnecessary work onto her. But isn't it hard for her if she understands that? Isn't it painful? The thing is... Senpai's voice was quiet. She sounded almost calm. I know that sort of thing does happen on occasion. She didn't rebuke me. I'm sure I don't want to be of help to people or anything like that. I don't want people to be upset if I turn them down. I don't want people to think me as cold-hearted or anything. It's just that I don't want to betray people's expectations, I think. I don't necessarily want to be praised by people for helping them. I just don't want them to think I just don't want them to think badly of me for turning them down. I think that's why I can't say no. Because of this, I feel like I should say something, anything, to the people who take advantage of me. I shouldn't say anything. Aihara-senpai's words pierced my heart, stinging, even though I was the one who'd brought it up in the first place. Something else was bubbling in me. I was trying to push it down. This time, it was a little something I really couldn't say. Oh, it's gonna be about Miki. I couldn't. I don't think that what you're saying is wrong, Tumi-san, but I can't help accepting them. I can't turn them down. Or Maki, sorry. This is Miki. Ugh, God, their names are a little confusing. I think about it sometimes, not what you said about why I'm the one doing all this, but that I wish someone would understand why I accept these requests. I know it's a selfish thought, but I've wanted someone to ask me why. I don't want them to praise me or tell me that I'm wrong, just I want them to ask. I think that sometimes. But I couldn't stop myself. I don't think Aihara-senpai wanted me to say it. I don't think she wanted me to say anything. I knew that, but they won't understand what you're thinking if you don't say anything, and you won't understand what they're thinking either if you don't say anything. If you don't tell them, nothing will change. I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't want to be there anymore. I didn't want to be speaking to Aihara-senpai anymore. I was fed up with myself and it hurt. I picked up the stack of printouts. It was heavy, really heavy, but I grit my teeth and lifted it. I would handle it somehow. It's not going to be easier if you never say anything. I muttered and left the classroom, trying not to stagger under the weight of the printouts. I left Aihara-senpai there. You could have been a little nicer about that, I guess, to me, but that's fine. Anoka Sachi. Enoki. Is that her first name? Enoki Sachi. Why didn't I know that? Oh, Yuna-san. I was in the hallway in the inner building in front of the classroom that Yuna-san and Miki-chan had been working in just 10 minutes earlier. Yuna-san had returned after delivering the printouts. She seemed anxious, like I expected. If you're worried about Miki-chan, she left a little bit after you did, Yuna. I see. She cleaned everything up, too. Right. Yuna-san glanced in, confirming that the desks they'd moved were back in their original positions and that the stationery was sorted away. I was surprised that she worked about that sort of thing, that she would come back after leaving the classroom in such a fashion. She truly is a responsible girl. In that fashion, yes. I was listening to Yuna-san's conversation with Miki-chan, a conversation that shed some light on what was in both of their hearts. I saw Yuna leave the classroom first, barely able to carry all those papers she was holding, and still trying to move as quickly as possible. Miki-chan, who she'd left behind, sat in thought for a while, but soon tidied everything up and left for the Hoshiken building. I don't think either of them said everything they wanted to say, and it didn't seem like it had lightened either of their burdens. In fact, Yuna-san's heart seemed to have only grown heavier. After glancing in the classroom, she turned to the window and looked out from it, merely staring outside. Yuna-san? I don't want to bother her, but I stood beside her. I don't think she missed my presence there, but she didn't say anything. She didn't look away from the window. I called her name but received no response, though it didn't seem to be a rejection. What could I do? The best thing would be to come up with something tactful to say. But no words came to mind. Instead, I asked her, "You didn't want to say those things to her, did you?" What was I thinking? Oh god, everyone's just speaking before they think, aren't they, today? I don't think Yuna-san meant to criticize Miki-chan. I believe that, so I won't scold her. I just hope that Yuna-san would be able to collect herself somewhat by replying to me. No. Yuna-san said, shaking her head. Why did I say all that to her? There was no point in telling her all those things. Perhaps you couldn't bear leaving it unsaid, could you? Maybe. Whenever I look at Aihara-senpai, what why do I don't know the answer to that either. I could feel the regret weighing down on Yuna-san's heart. And that's the same thing that was in Miki-chan's heart in the classroom after Yuna-san left. There was regret in her heart too, but Miki-chan's had cleared up a little by the time she left the classroom. It seemed like she'd realized something during her conversation with Yuna-san. They had both spit out words they hadn't intended to say. When they freed them, it was as if they'd both ventured into deep places in their hearts. Miki-chan found something there. What about you, Yuna? Do you think you'll find something too? I think I can understand Miki-chan's feelings. I think everyone shares that desire to have others think well of them. Killing yourself worrying over something like that might be wrong, but acknowledging that weakness of yours, accepting it, and overcoming it is a pretty difficult thing, I think. I doubt it's something just anyone can do. Right? I think that's true, and I think you understand that too, Yuna. But you couldn't stop yourself. Why? Perhaps because there's something similar in you. A weak part of you, something everyone has. Miki-chan might be feeling a bit better after talking with you, Yuna. Huh? When she left after you, she was looking a little cheerful. Why? After I said those things to her? Well, Miki-chan did answer your words with words of her own, Yuna. That's usually how conversations go. She may have come to the same conclusions during that. You think so? There are times when saying that you need to stay can clear your mind. I'm sure the same could happen to you, Yuna. To me? Yes. Your heart grows heavy from words you want to say, but you can't, doesn't it? You feel weighed down, don't you? Freeing your thoughts may lighten the burden you carry. If you're alright with it, I'd listen. I won't tell anyone, of course, not even Megami. Ooh. And I'm a ghost, so I can't tell anyone else, but I can listen. If it will make your heart lighter, Yuna-san, would you tell me? Oh, are we gonna get to find out what Yuna's thinking here? I won't force you to, of course, only if you want to tell me, if you want me to listen. I always knew that there was something caught in your heart. Our suspicions have come true. Yuna is falling for someone, I think. That it might have been the reason you ate lunch alone on the roof. That it might have been the reason you were so unenthusiastic about helping us the first time we asked. I wonder, is there really some other Yuna-san hiding in there? I see glimpses of her sometimes, but then she's pushed back down. The real you is scared to show herself. I understand that feeling very well. Because revealing your true self is frightening. Thank you, Sachi. But I don't need to right now. I see. It's difficult. But I hope you'll be there if I do want to tell you. Of course. Yuna-san is strong, just as I thought. She continued staring outside, but now looked a little more steady. For better or worse, that something was again being pushed down deep into her heart. It seemed like the pain she'd been feeling when talking to Miki had disappeared, replaced by acceptance. I'm a little disappointed, but that's so like you, Yuna. It's like me? Yes, you're very level-headed. That's not true. I don't have anything to say, but I think I feel a lot better now because of you, Sachi. Oh, really? Yes, you're really mature, Sachi. You're always so calm. I feel I can relax around you. That's why talking to you helped calm me down. Sometimes I'm really impressed. Impressed, I'm a little happy to learn that Yuna-san thinks of me that way. I'm happy, but... Well, I'm gonna head home for today. Oh, very well. Take care.
気をつけて帰ってね。はい。
Right. See you tomorrow.
ええ、また明日。
See you tomorrow. So we haven't learned anything new about Yuna, unfortunately, other than there might be something there. After giving me a little bow of her head, Yuna then walked off towards the Hoshiken building. I saw her off, and when I couldn't see her anymore, mature, calm, and she can relax around me, huh? She thinks so highly of me. When really, I'm a cowardly ghost full of regrets and nothing but lies. So we're getting a little more glimpse into what Sachi's really thinking. She's not being completely truthful with everyone. And it's gonna stop there, isn't it? Just like cliffhanger after cliffhanger with what Sachi is really up to. What is she up to? Anyways, I don't think we'll find out next time. We'll probably find out a lot later. But anyways, I'm sure we'll have some very exciting things to do in Summer Lilies 5. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time, and goodbye.